Dun, 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 dun.
My brain sometimes just hears garble. Like I hear the sounds, I hear the intention and the tone. It's that my brain is not computing in real time. There's like a lag. It's
does not compute.
It's like the little spinning wheel is going, and I'm like, okay, hold on.
Yeah. This is Dave.
This is Reese.
And this is Manic Joy, a podcast about
life,
love,
and uncertainty.
Cheers to you this morning. We're having a little Irish coffee. Yum, yum.
I mean, it is the month of the Irish.
This is true. So let me do this, and I'm going to come back to the month of the Irish. So today we're going to talk about what midlife does to a marriage. So we'll have some of these episodes that are focused really around these themes. And what do we say about this? This is, right, I don't think we're in that part. Like, you got a birthday coming up this month, the month of the Irish and the month of the Reese.
Yeah, it's a big month.
A hefty duo, if there ever was one. But I think we could probably both agree that we're in this stage of life where things probably start to shift a bit.
A lot.
Become a little bit different. Our priorities change. Maybe even the patience that we have changes. And I would say maybe less so, and we'll talk more about, but when I talk about the patience changing, I feel like it's the patience we have with other people, not so much ourselves. Although sometimes it depends on the on the day, I suppose, or the time of the day. But mostly I think with other people, not so much ourselves.
Well, I think in doing that also makes you reflect on yourself of what you will tolerate as you get older.
Sure. We're going to get into that stuff today.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the things that may be scary, maybe subtle, maybe even surprisingly good.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I like this topic a little bit. I think
just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think that people should talk about this stuff a little bit more and be a little bit more honest about it. Especially one of my pet peeves lately, as I start to withdraw from being enamored by Hollywood and famous people and entertainers.
Yeah.
I could give a rat's ass about the way I used to care about it. Like back in the day, I used to love watching award shows. I used to love watching what they wear. I used to love learning like where they vacation, what they do, what they like, what they're interested in.
They're just like us.
But the thing is, they are not. I can look at the acting that they do and critique it and appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I don't really care anymore. And this last award show, it was BAFTAs or whatever it was. It was the whole Jim Carrey thing, which I don't think we talked about.
Yeah.
Well, it is or it isn't. He either had massively horrible plastic surgery and fillers. A lot of the men are getting the fillers. Why did I just forget his name? Ryan Gosling. The filler, unnecessary. Hate it. The other one did it too. A Star Is Born.
Yes.
This is also fun with midlife.
There we go.
These are the conversations you have in midlife. You know the guy that was in the thing with the stuff and he was with
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
I said every B name in my brain. I was like, Bryce?
Yes.
Brian?
Bryce Cooper.
I knew it was something not common. But Bradley Cooper, yeah.
Him also. And then the Jim Carrey. Now, I'm not saying he was cloned. I'm not going to go that far.
Although you have been saying he was cloned.
I never said he was cloned.
You said he was cloned. You didn't say you believed it.
I said that was not him.
Okay.
That is what I said. There's a difference between a clone. A clone is a clone.
Oh,
they look alike.
Thank you for clearing that up.
But they look alike.
And
I'm saying this was not. This wasn't him. In my heart, I'm like, he pulled a Andy Kaufman. He sent someone in with a mask.
He could.
There's a makeup artist who said...
It's always surprising
who
with
said,
that guy.
it was me. I was the one, showed the mask. I was like, this is a fascinating and also awful time to be alive because I don't know what's real and what's not. But I will tell you, besides all the plastic surgery, it's how emaciated these women and men look. It kind of... like you should look healthy. And I don't see very many people in the industry looking healthy. They look emaciated.
I will give it some grace. I don't really care to talk about their things because I don't care enough about their things, like, other than like the human race type of piece of it, right? But like, there's pressures there, self-imposed or not, or within that industry too, that are different than anything that we would understand, right? In many ways, but all of it is just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I just
And
wish, yeah, we just
I'm
go back
bringing
to
it up because
I don't know.
I am settling into whatever this is going to be.
Yeah.
I will do the things that I need to do to maintain some beauty standards for myself,
Sure.
because there are just some things I don't want to tolerate on my own.
Yeah.
Like, as far as I put makeup on, it's 11 o'clock. I put some makeup on. I would never go on camera and not have a little dab of something.
A little dab will do,
Yeah, I wouldn't like jump in my car to go get something and not put makeup on. I've always been like that. Not a full face, half a face, but
It'd be kind of cool if you just did half a face.
next time I will. Next time I will. See
You
if you
should.
notice, which
You
you
should.
won't. But I feel like a lot of people, like, I say it all the time. I used to look up to Drew Barrymore, the way she used to dress,
Mm-hmm.
the haircuts, the makeup, her eyebrows, because of her very thin eyebrows in the 90s. I have no eyebrows now because you used to shave them really, really
Mm-hmm.
thin. And now it's like, I don't want to look like any of them. I don't want to eat what they're eating. I don't want to, the plastic surgery, whatever it is, I want no part of it. And I just, I'm happy with my t-shirts, my jeans, and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's where I am
Yeah.
in that capacity.
Sure. Look, I'm a big fan of just being natural to who you are and what you look
Yeah.
like. Yeah, of course, taking care. Like, look, I'm in there trimming my beard all the time.
Yeah,
and,
you are.
with
I
my
find
eyebrows
traces of
and
it
then-
everywhere.
Oh God, shut up. Sometimes there are traces because you can't get everything. I was going to talk about you mentioned the Irish month.
Mm.
And I'm thinking of doing something different this year. I saw this recipe for these sandwiches, and it's like a slow cooked brisket, whatever.
I thought you were going to say a slow cooked sandwich. I was like, how?
No, it's a slow cooked brisket, but
You do
you
that.
do it in one of those pots, those clay pots or whatever.
Mhm.
You do it in one of those. Supposed to do it. We'll see how the weather is. We've got so much snow out there. I don't know if I can get to the
Oh, the
get to the
barbecue?
barbecue or the grill, but I think I can do it inside as well. But I might do that, and then you do it on the French rolls, and you get the the sauerkraut, of course, and the cheese, and there's like a mustard stuff that you put on it that looked really good, and it's like falls apart, that kind of thing. I think I might do that this year.
You like a good challenge when
I
you're
do.
cooking
I do.
sometimes. Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm going to do that.
Whatever it is, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat this.
This is true. This is true. You're going to
I'ma
get what
eat
you get.
this.
You're not going to get upset.
Either way, I'm going to eat it.
Yes.
Except for the martini that was with the past due.
Yeah. I've thrown that away, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. You can get over it.
Never. I'm never getting over it.
All right, so let's start this off. Oh, and we just recently did that like 10-year thing where we did the 2016. So if we look at where we are now, I'm saying that for this question, right? But what's the biggest way our marriage feels different now than 10 years ago? And so we talked about some of this stuff and just in terms of like what was going on during that time period and some of that. But I would say for me, and 10 years ago is honestly not that long ago.
It's really not.
It
It's crazy.
it sounds
how
big when you say 10,
10 years seems far away, but
I
it's
was like,
really not.
well, 10 years ago, we're here.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're like 11 years into this place, which is
Yeah.
cool. So it's the beginning of that. I mean, the house has changed a lot, which has been nice.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things we have been able to upgrade and some of the things we have not. So a lot of different changes there. I mean, I think that's one of the big things that is interesting about it's not necessarily the relationship, but this moment in time where we need to figure out how to deal with these things that are happening with the house. But
It's mostly the exterior that we have to deal with. I know what I said,
wow,
and I know
way,
how I
way
said
to
it.
go, Boston. Yeah.
But I've got all sorts of accents
You
going
really
on
do.
right now. It is
What's
really
the Middle East? Not the Middle East, but the Midwestern accent.
wow.
Where are you?
All of them.
Yeah, let's go.
She's from Oklahoma, not from
In one sentence, I would like you to travel the world with your
not
accent.
from Lebanon. She's from Oklahoma. And it's bugging.
Wow.
It's bugging me out because
Yeah.
it's like there's the Brooklyn in there. There's a little Boston
Yeah.
that comes out, and now I'm trying to pretend like I can do an Oklahoma accent. Not going to happen. But anyway.
So what I was going to say is that, but I think the biggest difference between now and even then, I guess, in many ways, is that I feel like we're a lot more confident in our relationship.
I think our communication has gotten
Well, our communication
better,
is
stronger.
Those are some of the things I think we'll end up talking about in some of these questions here. But like, yeah, like I think we're just, and I think like right, we always have our moments, but I'm like very confident in our relationship, like just even our ability to communicate, and even if we're struggling with something, knowing that we'll eventually get to the place we need to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. You got a question over there?
Are we calmer or are we just tired? A lot of the time, I'm trying to figure out, I am tired like all the time. Like all the time. Even if I get, like last night, I think I had a pretty good night's sleep, actually. How'd you sleep last night?
Slept pretty good. I've got a little bit of a bug going on, so
You were definitely snoring for a long time.
Probably, yeah. So I got my Aura ring told me I had minor signs last night, not last night, but the night before. 24, something came knocking at my door. Remember that thing? Whatever it is?
No.
Anyway. So I was like, oh yeah. And I wasn't feeling great when I went to bed last night. So I'm like, I just need to rest. And
Maybe
so,
we need to put those turmeric foot pad absorbers again.
So we did that for sure.
That was gross.
It did say, but well, okay. Has anybody done these things? Tell us what those things are. We're going to take an interlude here.
Yeah.
What are these things called?
I wish I knew the exact name of it. I know there are like foot pads that you
extract the toxins
from your feet. Now we questioned last night when we took the pads off after 6 hours.
So
we're
this
like,
is the question.
That's
So basically, you stick these
disgusting.
things to the bottom of your feet, and then at the end of the time, you peel them off your feet.
And it's supposed to.
And well, supposedly it's pulling toxins from your feet. But my question is this: so the test I think we would like to do, but I'd love to know if anybody knows, is this: once you pull those off your feet, like they're black.
Is
Like,
it actual
is it
toxin
actually
from your
stuff-
body?
Right.
Or is it
that just
from,
like if you put that on?
we could do an experiment.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If you put that on like a warm coffee mug,
Yeah.
and,
Let's try
and
that
left it
today.
there for a few hours, like if I pulled that off, would that look black? Do we have more of those?
Oh, I have a whole ton.
Oh, well, all right.
I bought a multi-pack.
Science.
Science. She blinded me with
Excellent.
science. So we can try them. But
So I'm
but
just
that's the
curious to
thing.
see, like, is it actually we're like, because like this is the charade of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is it the charade? Is it that it's actually pulled stuff from your body that has created that color,
Right.
or is it that it's just like the heat and the sweat for being there that long that just makes whatever is inside
Right.
that pad come through?
So
that's what I'd be curious to know.
I'm fine with that, but I
So if you
will
know,
add it
let
to.
us know. But if you don't, and actually, time out. I want to just say this: if you do know, if you've done this and you know some of the science behind it, go to our website, and on our website there is a little tab on the right hand side of the website, manicjoy.com. You can leave a voicemail. Let us know if you've done one of these in the past and what your assessment is of
That's
it.
fun. I didn't know that we had that on
Well,
the
we need to
website.
start pushing this. I'd love to include more people that are listening, checking out, and include you in the show because we appreciate you listening and sharing your thoughts with us. So
Cool.
go to the website if you know the answer to this question and let us know so we can include it next time.
I like it.
Cool.
Nice.
All right.
And the only reason why I also brought that up too is that I love the fact that you and I last night was like the big reveal when
Yeah.
we took the
Very
things
exciting.
off. Yes, both of us. We were like, look at this. I was like, look at it. And I was like holding it up to your face. And then I was like,
And then
I
it became a
couldn't wait.
game of whose
was worse.
Yeah.
They were both.
I think I won that
you
last one I
did.
pulled off was pretty gross.
Yeah.
You beat my first one
Yes.
with one of yours, and then
Yes.
I beat everything with that
But
last one.
that's what I'm saying about our relationship right now is that I think we could do that without. I won't be like, oh my God, he can't. I don't want him to see that.
Oh,
He's
geez.
going to
So
think
all
less.
of that is like ridiculous to me. Like if you're in a relationship where you feel like that, I don't know. Like,
Right.
Stop it.
But I think
Grow
after a while, but I think after a while, when you've been with someone for so long, you kind of just
So I think this is
Move
true,
past it
right?
a
Like, I
little
mean, I think
bit.
it depends on where you are in your relationship. So relationship goals, you should
Right.
get to the point where, come on, like your people
right.
live
like
your life and be
but
the
you
people
chose
that
this
you are.
person to be with. You should be able to share these, even when it's gross, together. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, without feeling the person making you feel bad. But to go back to, are we calmer or are we
There we
just
go.
tired? I'm always tired and I'm always trying to find ways to, because sleep isn't cutting it. I don't know if it's stress. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's also just my body is just slumming down. It doesn't, no matter what I do, I've always been a sleepy girl. You know what I mean? I've always needed naps.
Your
I've
middle
always
name
been
is Nap.
sleepy. Seriously, like, and I come from a long line of nappers.
Yeah,
I've
you
said
do.
that before.
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination with us.
Well, I was going to say it's definitely both.
I have calmed down. Like, I used to get mad about everything and everything was an injustice and
So-
everything is now I pick and choose what I'm going to allow myself to get agitated with. And then when
That actually reminds me. I think you owe Ring an apology.
why?
Because the other day, so if you've been following our journey at all,
Oh,
here,
yeah.
Reese has got some qualms with the Ring not capturing when things get delivered. And the other day, you got a notice that package was delivered, and I'm getting messages from you when you're out, you're at rehearsal or whatever, and I'm home, and I'm like, oh no, here we go. And she's like, did a package get delivered? And I go look, and I'm like, nothing. And you're like, already on the Ring. I'm like, yep. And then you come home, and then of course, blah blah blah, ring. I'm gonna sue them. Blah blah blah. I'm writing a letter. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think it was delivered because it was supposed to come via UPS. And whenever something gets delivered to our address, I get a notice that says this was delivered. And we didn't get that notice. And so I was like, I don't think it was delivered. So I don't know what's happening here. But anyway, the next morning, at some point, we saw one of our neighbors come up and drop a package and they misdelivered it to the other house. And so, I think you were very quick to blame Ring for not going off, and it didn't actually have anything to go off about.
Time out. Can you blame me?
Listen, no.
This is
I'm
why
just making a joke,
patterns
obviously,
hap-
because
But I didn't make a post about it. I didn't do anything. I waited until the next morning. I was going to figure out like what happened with the package to see did it go, because at night when I got home I was just tired, and I was mad, but I was too tired to really do anything about it. I went to bed. I was like, in the morning because my immediate reaction was to be upset because
of course
previously
it was.
Ring has not been doing the right things. Like it works when it wants to work, and when I need it to work,
I feel like
it doesn't
since I've
work.
made some adjustments, though, it's better.
Okay.
And so, because ever since I've made the adjustments, we've got nothing that has been missed. Because you thought that was a miss, but it wasn't. So I think we've been pretty good so far.
Yes, but time will tell.
I know.
We'll
I'm
see.
just saying.
Fingers crossed. I hope you're right, because I've.
All right. So
Anyway,
so back into the calmer
but it goes into the fact that I was mad before I came in hot when I came home from
Yeah, you
rehearsal, but I was so tired that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna
Thank
go to bed, and when I wake up in the morning, I'll have a clearer head and I'll move forward. And it just happened to be that morning that a neighbor. The Ring went off, saw the neighbor, didn't recognize them. They had a dog. I'm like, what are they doing in the front of the house? And I saw her throw the package on the thing. And I went,
So thank you,
my God.
neighbor, for
First of
bringing
all,
it over.
Good people in the world restored my faith in humanity. Was so
for
happy
whatever brief moment of time
something,
that will
something
be
didn't
true.
get stolen.
But
Well, things getting stolen. I'm not a fan
I
of
know,
that.
I
And
know.
that sucks that we have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, it's like, I get mad, but I pick and choose. And then I also just decide like, I'm tired. I don't care at this point, some of the things. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel like, I still, some things annoy me.
So I think they're a little bit different in the sense. So I think it's both, but I think it's different things, right? So I think just in life and how you react to things, it's not so much that I'm tired, but I am calmer, right? Where I'm like, oh, that's not worth being worked up about or upset about, or that doesn't bother me like it may have used to when I was younger.
Right.
The tired piece, though, I would say like, well, I'm fucking more tired in terms of like, right? We watched a movie last night with the kids with our kids. Yeah, kids, but they're
always
kids.
going to be the kids.
Adults, but the adult children, we watched a movie with them last night, and like I couldn't wait for that movie to be over so I could be like, good night.
Yep.
And it was like, what, 8:19?
Yeah. It was so early, and I was still like
I
doing.
was like-
I tapped out because I needed to do.
Well, you
work.
had stuff going on, but I was like, okay, good night. And they're like, good night.
I know, like after a couple episodes of Mad Men at night by 8:30, you're like, all right, I gotta go to bed. I'm like, oh my God.
And where that may have bothered me, so here it comes full circle, where may that have bothered me when I was younger, that I'm going to bed so early, I'm like, I'm fucking going to bed.
Listen, going to bed
Kudos
early.
to me.
Going to bed early
But I do get up early,
is
right?
great.
So
is
it's all
a
good.
great thing.
All right.
So-
Well, here's my question to you.
Okay.
What part of this midlife journey that we're on has made our marriage better?
I think experience.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like the good and the bad teaches you
Yeah.
what good things you want ahead. So I really believe like I'm a advocate. What I don't like are hypocrites. I don't
Right.
like a hypocrite.
I agree with that statement.
What I do appreciate is having an opinion or a feeling towards something.
Right.
And then as you grow and learn and experience
That
life,
can change. Yeah.
it can change.
Yeah.
So the things that you were really all gung ho about when you were younger may morph and change and become something different to you,
Mhm.
right?
Sure. As it should.
As
I mean,
it
if you're,
should.
if you're, you still believe or still think or still act the same way as you
Right.
did when you were younger.
You're doing something wrong. I'm
something's
sorry.
wrong. Like sure, there's a consistency. There's a through line to I think the core of who you are, but yeah, not growing and understanding and evolving with how life evolves is
Right.
a huge miss.
And also just paying attention to the people around you and seeing the things that they've gone through without toxic empathy, without over empathizing and
Right,
forgetting and
yeah.
losing yourself, but
Yeah.
just enough to be like, I saw what happened to blah, 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 and I don't want that to happen to me, or I saw what happened to blah, 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 and I want that to happen to me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
also like my new thing is zoom out all the way, look at it, look at the whole thing.
You do this.
Yep. You zoom it out.
You zoom it out.
Zoom it
No,
out.
that's zooming it in. You want to zoom it out. You
You want to zoom it out,
I'm going to do it like this.
right? but we do that. Why do we do
I
that?
screwed it
Why
up.
do we do that when we're looking at our phone, right? We zoom in to see closer. Sometimes we need to just zoom all the way out to see the whole thing. I like the idea of zooming out because it forces you to step away from your little tiny component of the situation and see the other components of the
Sure.
situation.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
My point of view on some of that stuff is I actually like to look at things from a different angle as well. So meaning yeah, zooming in, zooming out, but also like, what if you turned it upside down?
yes,
Right? Like
100%.
that type of stuff I
No,
think is
no,
also
no, no.
interesting. And I know
100%.
you're not saying it's not. But
no, 100%. And I think like as you get older, things become more meaningful
Mhm.
that weren't before. And I don't feel the need to people please anymore.
Sure.
I don't have an infinite amount of energy. I don't have an infinite amount of sympathy and empathy.
Empathy. Yeah.
I have a small amount.
Sounds weird coming from you.
Well, seriously, because I spent my whole life this way.
Sure.
I was taught this way. It was a practiced behavior. And
Do
as
you
I
ever
got,
walk this way?
no, I
No,
don't.
okay.
No. It was a good one though, Dave. Nice one.
Thanks,
I just feel like as you get older, like I don't have FOMO. Like it's very rare when I miss something and I'm like, oh, I wish I was there. And the only time that sometimes it's that is like if you and the girls are doing
Mhm.
something and I
Yeah,
can't be
yeah.
there or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't really have FOMO either these days. Yeah.
Yeah, it's normally like I just want to hang out with you guys. I want to hang out with the girls. They,
Yeah.
the fact that they even want to hang out with us at all.
Uh-huh.
I want to make sure I'm
Especially
there for
you.
that. Oh, 100% me. Because, and again, it goes back to whatever relationship I had with my mom. I wish that I had that where I'd want to hang out with her all the time. And she wanted to hang out with me she did want to hang out with me all the time, but there were so many rules to it that
Yeah.
it was exhausting.
Yeah.
I could just sit with them on the couch. We could be on our phones. We could be watching a show. We can be out shopping and doing whatever. And it's easy. That's what I want. I want to hang out and I want it to be easy and I don't want it to be complicated.
Yeah.
The second something becomes complicated,
for no reason.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
Some like I'm okay with complicated things.
Yes.
But
Because
because
those are
they're
going to happen.
complicated. But when
Right.
things aren't complicated and you
Right.
complicate them,
Right. I'm out. So that's to somewhat answer
Yeah.
that question.
Well,
I
so-
feel like as I'm getting older, both of us are like, we can say no a lot easier to things.
yeah. So when I think about what's made our marriage better in this midlife portion of our worlds, right? Like I would say, I think we're more honest faster, and so there's less of the dance around, like having to waste the mental energy of figuring it out and being like, I don't even know if I want to call that a game, but like I almost feel like that's ridiculous.
It is
Like
a game when you're first dating
Yeah,
someone.
like
It's
the-
like you play a game.
Or like we don't do the like, well, you should know, like,
Right.
or fuck you. Like we do the like, no, we'll talk. I mean, I think sometimes we're like, you know what, I'm not ready to talk about it right now,
Mhm.
which I also think is a growing thing.
Mhm.
But we will eventually, when we're ready, we will talk about it, and then we will have a conversation about it so that we can figure out how to move forward.
Mhm.
And so I think we do that faster than we
Mhm.
maybe did in the early days of things, which
Well,
I think is
I
great.
would sit and stew and be mad at something for like a week
Yeah.
before I would tell you.
Yeah. And I think now we navigate each other a little bit better. Most times. There are still some times where, like, and I think this is just a mismatch of energies in many cases, right? Sometimes because we have our own stuff going on and things are happening, that it becomes a thing where it is just a mismatch. Like,
Right.
I'm here, you're here,
Right.
or vice versa. And we try to make something happen,
Well,
and we're not ready to be on the
Right.
same level
Well,
yet.
I try
but I
to
think
catch you.
we
If I need to-
understand that more
If
about
I need
each
to
other,
talk to
yeah.
you about something that I feel needs a certain amount of time and nuance to have the conversation, there's opportunities to do that. I'm not going to do it like
Mhm.
during the week while you're in the office doing work. Like I try to figure out when is a good time to have this
Yeah.
conversation. You know what I mean? I think we've gotten
Yeah.
better
And
at
sometimes
that.
we just ask.
And
"Hey, is
sometimes
now a
we
good
just
time?"
say it. Yeah.
No, give me
Yeah.
a few minutes. And
Yeah.
then,
And I think that comes with just,
and then not taking that personally either. Like this has nothing to do with.
that's really difficult for me.
Yeah. But I think you
But I've
do
gotten
a
better.
pretty, yeah, you did a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
hey, no problem. What else you got?
What part of middle life has made our marriage harder?
What are your thoughts on that?
I wrote because we can't hear each other.
Oh, that's interesting.
That builds a
Yeah.
frustration.
Okay, so that's interesting that you say that. Yeah, because I would. Yeah, that's a big
And I
one.
don't mean it
I think that's just-
metaphorically.
No,
I
like
mean
literally,
it like actually we
like
cannot hear.
Yeah, we communicate well. It's just sometimes we can't actually hear each other.
Physically hear.
And so, yeah, I guess that is interesting because we both are. I mean, we've both, I'm sure, done a number on our hearing over the years, just in terms of headphones and
Concerts.
and whatever else. Living near the rocket ship. No, imagine.
I wish.
But yeah, that's an interesting one because I agree with you. Like, I get, like, sometimes the girls will be, and I feel like they mumble.
They mumble.
And maybe they're not. I don't know. I
No,
think
they mumble.
They are. But, and so they'll be in there and be like, I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't talk to me when I'm not looking at you, for
Yeah.
one, and speak.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated because it's not so much that I'm frustrated at them, but it's frustrating because I want
Right.
to be able to hear them and I
Right.
want to participate in that conversation. Right. And so, yeah, and probably maybe that's the next thing to work on. Right. But like the amount of frustration that happens is probably misinterpreted as frustration towards versus frustration with my problem, not toward, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
I
yeah,
stop
that's an interesting
everything I'm
one.
doing. If I'm sitting in the TV room and they're in the kitchen and they're talking to me, I go, hold on.
Yeah, I know. Stop.
I pause the TV or I take a headphone out or
Well,
I,
there are times like you'll be in the other room and they'll start saying things to you. I just go, there's no way she hears you. You got to go in there. It's like, stop it, go. Like,
but I think it's also a learning experience for all of us because they need to realize
Sure.
also that we're older.
yeah.
That
Well,
we
there are things they're
cannot
going to have to
hear.
do. Well, it'll be
Yeah.
interesting
And
actually.
they have to adjust
their
as well.
perspective in things as they're in this phase of their life and having to deal with us getting older, right? But, I
Well-
mean, still, luckily we're still young, but
Yeah. No, but we're not the parents that they had when they were toddlers, teenagers, you know what I mean? Like now that they're older. And I really want to be there for those conversations and hear everything that they have to say to me. And it's not even sometimes that I don't hear it. My brain sometimes like just hears garble. Like I hear the sounds, I hear the intention and the tone. It's that my brain is not computing in real time. There's like a lag. It's
Does
like
not compute.
It's like the little spinning wheel is going, and I'm like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
And my students do it too, which is, I think I said the other day, I was like, I think I have like maybe 4 or 5 more years of teaching because they all talk, because they're so used to talking into the phone and talking at a computer that they're not used to projecting. They're not really being taught that in school.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing work on a computer all day, you're not really interacting and learning the importance of projection and articulation.
Couple of things. Do you ever, I just did it and I'm like, ooh, do you ever like pop your ears that like actually make things sound better for you? Do you ever get that? You ever do that?
I would never in a million years do that.
Oh, like
I have
sometimes,
so many problems with my ears
so
and my hearing.
I did it right now. Like, you know, just like, I don't know what's happening, but
It
like
looks like
adjusting
you're
the,
malfunctioning.
well, no, I'm like, yeah,
Or something
I guess
else.
it does.
Good thing I see both hands over there. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's a little much.
Wow. That's a very special episode.
Yeah, no.
But like it will all of a sudden, like everything gets a little bit louder and less muffled. And I'm like, oh, it's amazing.
Interesting.
But I was going to say, so secondarily, the fact that we do this with these headphones is fucking amazing.
It's my favorite thing, and I wish I could walk around with this. Well, there
Right?
is a
Well,
thing that you can put in your
It's
ear.
called a hearing aid.
No. So they did try to sell me a hearing aid when I went in for
We're
testing.
going to need them at some point.
And
for
I
sure.
was like, no, I'm all set
You know,
right
you can
now.
do that with your Apple EarPods, by the
No,
way.
they have a little contraption that you put in both
Yeah.
of your ears.
Hearing aid. But go ahead. What is it then? If it's not a hearing aid.
It's not technically a hearing aid. People use it if they want to hear conversations, like they're being nosy and snoopy.
Yeah.
They want to
Snoopy.
Yeah, not Woodstock. They want to. So what it does is it muffles out without putting a headphone on.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Muffles out the
it
surrounding
zooms in
sounds and
on
it
that.
zooms on that one thing. And I'm thinking there's some that are reasonably priced. I'm thinking of doing that at least just for the classroom aspect. Because I can't hear my students
Yeah.
at all.
Well-
and it's
The AirPods now, the pro version of the AirPods do the same thing. So you can put
but
those
I'm
in.
not spending that much money on that because I will
Oh
lose
yeah,
one.
you'll lose them.
There's no
But what
you
I'm
know.
saying is but that's what it also does. It will do the same thing. You put those in, it has a hearing aid, like a hearing test in it, and then it makes adjustments to the sound. And when you use it like that, like you can look at somebody and it will zone in on who you're looking at.
Well,
which
that's
is
the
interesting.
cheaper version of what I was looking into to doing that, because I think also it also has to do with my short attention span, like my brain, with my capacity to hold on to information, retain information. It is also becoming problematic. And I think that also creates frustration. It's not that you're mad at the person.
No,
You're mad
situation.
at the situation. So I think like all of that kind of it gets to us sometimes, especially just both of us, where my frustration is sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to keep saying what to you because then you're going to get mad at me and then I'm going to get mad at you and then we fight.
Yeah.
And it's happened.
It's true. Yeah.
And it's happened. And then like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes later, we'll be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
fine. It's
But in
fine.
the moment,
But
it's
it's like-
just so aggravating.
Because we are both people that like to engage in the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
it's frustration with the inability to be able to participate in the way that we would like,
Mm-hmm.
I think is a way to summarize that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's important to talk about the things that make things better, but I think it's also important to talk about some of the things that are difficult and harder, you know, and I think everything else is pretty good. I think we can, through good conversation and communication, we're good. But I feel like, the part of getting older is just the hearing loss,
Understanding
understanding that
our changing bodies.
it's, but it's true though. Okay.
Which in so many ways. All right. Well,
sums
my last like official question to you is this. What does midlife expose about a marriage?
So I wrote a note on that.
Oh, please tell me.
What you're willing to say no to and how much you're willing to tolerate.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I feel like when you're in the dating phase with someone, when you first meet them, you're very guarded.
Mhm.
And there's only so much that you're going to reveal about who you really are. Because that's like the worst part is dating someone for a long time. And then after you've been with them for a long time, you realize who they really are. And you're already kind of like knee deep in there and you have to
Well,
figure out,
Yeah, I think that, I mean, that's,
what do I do with this?
well, that's a challenge when people they don't show you who they really are.
And a lot of people do hide these things
Yeah.
because,
Which is crazy. But
well,
yeah.
I mean,
Not a good place to start
No.
if you want a healthy relationship.
right. Because,
Right?
listen,
I mean,
anybody I dated when I first started dating them, probably unless they've seen it and decided to date me anyway, I used to have a really bad temper. Like I
yeah.
would, and
That occasionally
you would know.
shows up once in a while, but we both do. So, you know,
Yeah,
whatever it is, what it is.
but I really just
Yeah.
would let loose anywhere, anytime, just let people have it, like very like all the
You
time.
listen to me, young man.
Oh my God, like all the time. It was part
Right.
of my personality. It was
Yeah.
very like finger wagging and
That
very
sounds
like,
right.
you know, and I feel like as I've gotten older and
Mhm.
had other relationships, and I saw the reveal of certain personality traits that
Sure.
weren't there when we first dated, I was like, okay, I got to be careful with
Yeah.
that too. I don't want to be surprising anybody. And then you and I we've been through so much that
Yeah.
we found out these things about each other and
Early
still
on, I
decided
think,
that we
yeah.
liked each other
Well,
anyway.
So, here's what I would say. My answer to this is, what does it expose? I mean, we've been together. I think this is a lot different than, I mean, to be crazy, we talk about this sometimes, but like, I can't imagine what it would be like to be dating and doing this stuff
God,
at
no,
this
I
stage.
say it all the time.
But I guess
Absolutely not.
also that would shorten that path, right? Where you'd be like, I'm not in the mood to waste time playing this game. So like, either you're who you are or you're not.
Right.
And you would get to the points quicker.
Right.
But my whole thing here was that for me, what this exposes about a marriage, at least for us where we are, is that whether or not you've made the right choice.
Right.
Because like, we're at a point now where I'm very happy that we're together. There's like no, I don't need to go anywhere else. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, this is the part in our lives where age becomes part of the discussion in our changing bodies and things. And I'm one, glad I don't have to do it alone. And two, I'm glad I'm doing it with you, right?
Aw,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so I think for me, this stage in our life, because we've been together so long, this has re-solidified the fact that I won't speak for you, but I think we've both made the right decision.
Well, I think it's also because we are willing to say no when we don't want to do something
Mhm.
and then not have the other person
Take offense.
take offense to
Yeah.
it. I think
But then we also recognize that the real moments where no is not the right answer.
there needs to be more of a discussion.
Right.
It's not-
But like also like sometimes you just got to do the things you got to do.
well, yes.
Yeah. And I don't
Yes.
mean that in a negative way, but I
Yes.
mean that more of a like, no, like this is me. Like, what did we do the other day where I was like, okay, I'll go with you. Oh, like going to the police station, for example,
Yeah.
right? Like little things like that. Like, do I want to do that? No, but I get it. I'll
But
go
I
with
needed you to be
Right,
there
right.
because it.
So that's
it
my point, right?
made me
Like, I will
anxious.
not, like, I'm not going to go there and make a big stink out of it. It's like, okay, let's go.
I
Yeah.
just needed you.
Now you can go on your own.
You didn't even have to say anything or
No,
do
just be
anything. It
there.
was just a matter of like walking into that place. It was
Yeah.
to file the police report for the
Yeah.
stuff that was stolen, just
Yep.
to clarify.
Yep.
But there's certain things like, and I know like sometimes I go out with my friends and I'll be like, hey, I'm going here. You don't have to go.
Yeah.
Like I will not
Right.
force you to hang out with people sometimes if you're not in the mood or you don't want to. Like I know like what your jam is. And if that is not your jam, I'm not gonna force you to go and like be a part and do things. But then there's times where you surprise me and you're like, oh, do you want me to go to that? Or
Yeah,
do you
I'll go to
and
that.
vice versa. Like I think
Yeah.
we're pretty
sometimes
good with
I'm in the mood for it.
yeah. No, but then there's
Well,
also
something
like
to shake things up.
especially like with work and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I go, I always feel very comfortable when I go on your work trips or
Sure.
whatever
Yeah.
because, you know, and you're comfortable that I can be there. So I think we've formed a pattern with each other where we know like the things that are good and the things are like, I'm not comfortable with that, but we still, if I feel it's very important to me, I will bring it up to you.
Yeah. So do you have a surprise question?
I created a surprise question and it will bookend what we were talking about, ironically enough, at the beginning of this. But do you think that we look good for our age as opposed to, because then I go back and I look at pictures of our parents.
Yeah.
And parents in the 80s and 90s looked older.
I feel like everybody looks older. Like what were we watching? Mad Men.
Yeah.
And they were like, what was it? Don Draper was like, I'm 36. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You look like you're our age now.
I
like,
know. It's crazy.
Well, so funnily, I was talking about this just yesterday with one of the guys at the yoga studio. We were in the locker room after class and he's 60. Looks amazing.
Right.
We were just talking about the fact that like the yoga, I'm like, yeah, I don't do it to like whatever. I just do it so I can feel good. Like in terms of like, I can move, my back doesn't hurt. Like I can lift my foot up to put my shoe on and socks on and that type of stuff. And he was like, yeah, it's crazy that like you see people that are our age or even younger and they're a complete fucking mess. And so, yeah, do we look good? Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like we've talked about this a lot on this podcast, but like for our age, like I still feel young.
Do you
mentally.
feel 52? Because I don't feel like I'm going to be 52. My body reminds me. My body reminds me.
Even so like day-to-day body is fine. It's the things that are changing in my body that I'm like, ugh, like really? Like that's different.
Right.
But like physically and mentally, like no, I don't feel that age.
And I really don't.
I feel good.
I used to think like 50, I would already be like crotchety with the cane.
No, I don't feel. It's funny when like the girls will remind you sometimes, right? Where like you'll be hanging out with them and they're talking or they're friends, and then or you'll hear somebody younger like classify you as old, and you're like, oh.
I know. Well, they'll be like,
and not that I care, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's just like a reminder. Like, and I'm just like,
they'll be like 30-years are old, and I'm like.
I know, and you're like,
fuck do you think I am?
Really?
Like that is very upsetting.
Yeah.
But I'll agree. I think we look good for our age.
I agree with that as well. So this is interesting question. I like this question a lot. So let's see. What's one way that I've changed in midlife that I probably don't see? It was deep.
It was deep. Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't. You have consistently been the same since I've known you.
Okay.
Where I feel that you have changed, but I think you know it because you said it. Is that you're way more mellow.
You need a detective license, I think.
Your jokes have gotten worse.
There it is. And I don't notice that at all.
And you actually, I don't know if you do. You love, like I'll be talking, saying whatever. You're not even a part of the conversation. You'll jump in with a little zinger.
Yep.
You always got to do a zinger.
Bazinga.
I'm like, do you really? Can we just talk without you have to have
No.
boom, roasted? Like not all the time. Everything doesn't have to be a zinger or start singing a song that relates to a word or a thing that I said. Like you do that a lot more than you used to do. I don't remember you doing that actually, but I think I think this is going to be your old guy shtick is where you make those little zingers. You got to be like, like from the back. I'm like, oh, that's just old Dave. Just ignore him.
Old Dave. Oh, yeah.
I think that's it. I think you've been consistent with your personality, your quirks, the things that you like, you don't like. Like I wouldn't say predictable because every once in a while you do stuff and I'm like, oh, interesting. But you've mellowed out. Like you're definitely way more mellow than you used to be. But I think your joking quota could be taken down a notch. But that's just me and my preference. It's like baseball.
You need at bats. Not all of them are hits.
Not all of them. A lot of them are not.
But the ones that hit.
Oh, do they? They hit. They were great.
They hit all right. Well, there you go, friends. That's what midlife does to a marriage. Thanks for listening. Our hope would be that, maybe you're listening to this alone, but maybe you can even set aside some time with your partner and listen to these together and have some
That's a
conversations.
great idea.
Hit pause, have some conversations, and then go to the website again, manicjoy.com, and leave us a message.
And let us know if you put weird shit on your feet to get rid of the toxins in your body.
I'm seriously curious about this. And
Me
so we
too.
might run an experiment after this. Now we've got something to do today, and it's not
Yay.
even noon yet. Yay.
Our day is full.
Yes. Friends, as always, we appreciate you. Thanks for listening. And remember this, life is a group project. Be kind to each other.